Hey everybody, this is Jill Sabella with Sabella Styles. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you this awesome card using the Textulator stamp. It is actually a center step fold card, so you can see how it kind of has that really cool fold that makes it stand up and display whatever is on the front. So it's perfect for this texting stamp. Which you can see here has tons of cool options, makes it a lot of fun. Here's another sample of just more of a simpler card I did with it, just your regular basic card, and I did a belated birthday on that one. So with these two, we are actually going to be doing the birthday one today, and let me show you all the supplies that you will need for that card. Let's get started. And again, it's the Textulator stamp set, and it has 59 stamps, but that's because some of them are very little, but it has all kinds of things you need. The emojis and all the word bubbles and all the different fun words, and then people to send your text to, so that's really fun. So we're gonna get started on that. What you're gonna need to start is a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, and it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 inches. And then you'll need a piece of Whisper White, and that is cut at 3 by 4. You're going to trim it, but it needs to be at least 3 inches by 4 inches to make sure you have enough. And then you'll have a piece of Lemon Lime twist paper, and it is measuring at 5 3/8 by 7/8 inches. And then you'll have 2 pieces of Smoky Slate, and they are measuring at, let's see, what is that? They are 3 1/8 inches long by 1 1/4 inches long. And you'll need 2, and I have already embossed them with our hexagon 3D embossing folder, so I'm not going to be showing you that, but you just stick them in the embossing folder and run them through your Big Shot to do those pieces. So I'm going to set these aside for a moment and show you how I cut this particular piece. Now, at the end of my video, I will have kind of a little guide on how I've cut and scored and everything. But to just show you, I used my our paper trimmer, which is going to be hard in the video, but I used our paper trimmer to do all the scoring and cutting for this particular card. And what you're going to do is on the portrait layout, which I call, this is portrait up and down, you will cut a slit at 1 3/8, okay? At the 1 3/8 inch mark, you'll put your left side of your paper, and you're going to cut it from the 1 inch mark, which you can see on your on this little leg here that comes down. You're going to cut from the 1 inch mark all the way down to the 5 1/4 inch mark. So that is where I get that piece right there. Then you slide your piece of paper over, and at the 4 1/8 inch mark right here, you will do the same thing. You'll cut from the 1 inch mark all the way down to the 5 1/4 inch mark. So those are your cuts for the card. Then you will turn it, and on a landscape layout, you will score at 1 inch, 2 inch, and 5 1/4 inches. And what you'll do is just score these outside lines. I'm not sure if you can see them right here and here and here. You'll do the outside lines. These particular, I'm calling it the outside because it's the outside of the center. So you will place your paper here on the outside, and you'll score from here to here. And then you'll skip down and you'll score, which I guess technically is, I don't know what, you're just doing the outsides. So once you see that slit right there you've cut, then you'll start here and score down here. And you'll do that 1 inch, 2 inch, and then 5 1/4 inches, and do that. Then also at 4, where's this one located? 4 1/4, you're gonna score the inner piece right here. So you'll line up your left-hand side with the 4 1/4 on this side, and you'll score the inner piece, and by inner I mean in the insides of each slit that you have made. So you'll just take your scoring and score the inside. So that's how I got my score marks. Again, this particular piece will be at the end, so you can see it and all the measurements, or you can pause this video and check it out. But that might help you, hopefully, to figure out exactly how you're going to do it. That is how I cut this. Okay, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and put the card together. And now I'm actually going to wait on this for a moment and do the actual stamped area. So you'll need your piece of Whisper White that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. And what I did, there's 2 options you can do. You can either just stamp it in black and just have the background be black. I'll show you that real fast. Actually, with these bigger stamps, I do like to stamp them kind of upside down so that I can see the ink and if it is getting on the stamp for me. So, and then because these are photopolymer, I do like to put a little foam piece underneath to make sure that it gets stamped evenly. But you can stamp it in black, just like that. Or the other option I did was I stamped it in Versamark, which is right here, our Versamark pad. So I inked it up the same way, stamped it down on the paper, and the Versamark is clear. And then I used our silver embossing powder, and I poured it over the top, and then heat tooled it with our heat tool. And if you need directions on how to actually do the embossing itself, you can message me and I will help you through that, or you can just Google some other people who might have a tutorial on how to emboss. But just to save some time today, I'm not going to do it. So this is the embossed piece I did in the silver embossing powder. And again, this is the black. So we're going to be using the silver today, but this is the black. It's a really simple way to do it if you don't want to do the embossing for this particular card right now. But for this, we're going to be doing the happy birthday one like I had said. So I'm going to have my sample here so that you can see exactly what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be using, I put several of these on the blocks just because I don't have enough blocks for every single one. But I kind of put two on each, or one on each side. And generally you do put your stamps in the center. With this, I put each of them towards the top or the bottom. So you have to be really careful not to rock it on the ink and get ink all over your block. But I'm going to just try to be careful and get just a little bit of ink on my on the area that I actually need inked up. So we're going to do all the word bubbles first to make sure that they get lined up properly. There's that one. And then I'm going to be doing, this one goes, let's see if you can see it. It's the opposite, but it goes the opposite way. So it's mimicking the other person texting you back. And then we'll do this one again. And I just like to alternate so that I know that there's enough space for each one of the bubbles that I am hoping to stamp down. This is not as, okay, great. Okay, then so I've got my word bubbles. Then I want to just do it new message. There are really some cute ones in there like hubby or the group or parental unit, but I want to make this something I can give to anybody, so I'm just labeling it as new message. So there's that. And then we're going to do the words inside. This one is crappiest of birthdays to you. And then we're going to say, no, 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 I meant happiest. So I think it's kind of funny. So I'm going to put that in that particular box. And then the other side is the no, no, no. So I'm going to stamp that in the black. And all this is in the black. And then we will do what is in on the left side there. First I'm going to do this little, oops, hold on, I got to clean this off. Give me a moment. Sorry to do that. But, all right. So I'm tapping just on the edge here because I have that little, those little dots that shows that that person is trying to write back to you. So stamp those down. And every time you do that, if you do put several on a block, just make sure it's clean and then stamp it down on your scrap paper and make sure there's no residue there. Then I'll do the laughing so hard they're crying face. Just so funny. And then I'm going to do the thumbs up on the bottom. All right, cute. All right, let's make sure. And then I did do, in this part of the texting, I put LOL like that was the next thing that someone was going to text, but we're just not doing that today. So, okay, now with that, then you're going to want to color in your word bubbles. This card is, I use Bermuda Bay and I use Lemon Lime Twist. So we're going to color all those word bubbles in, and the lemon lime can go straight on. The Bermuda Bay does need a little bit of stamping off, which I'm going to get a scrap piece to do that, but it just needs a little bit of stamping off so that it is not so dark. So we just stamp it down on a scrap piece of paper, and then we'll stamp it over the words. So it's a little lighter, and you can actually read those words underneath. Okay, so there we go with that. Now, with the other emojis, we are going to color them in. And the stamp set has these cute, like it has the solid circle for the faces, and then it has the solid of the thumbs up. It has that for the heart as well, so that you can color them in. And now with that, then we're going to be using some of our other colors. We're going to use the crushed curry for the emoji face. Okay, so I will just inking up that circle there, and then I put it right over the face. And it colors them right in, super cute. Or you can color it in with a marker, but this is kind of fun and quick and super perfect. Then I'm using the powder pink stamp pad for our thumb. Or you can use some crumb cakes or different colors depending on what you need for your card. And then the last thing is, because I've already colored these in, now I need to use our marker. This is the Lemon Lime Twist marker. And we're just going to go ahead and color around the emojis. Super simple, actually. And then do this one. I think the hardest part of this card is deciding which of all the adorable texting boxes and phrases you're going to use. Other than that, once you figure it out, it's fun to make and can go fairly quickly. So let me go ahead, sorry about my arm, and get the card assembled. Take some of my scraps away. And what you're going to do with this piece is just trim it out a little bit. Just so that it fits on the card, but I just really kind of rounded the corners a little bit like a phone would be, but you know, not particular. And just trim it out right to the edge of the area that you stamped, whether it was black or you embossed it. Okay. And then we'll take our pieces that we had talked about in the beginning, the Bermuda Bay that we had scored and cut. And what you're going to do with that particular piece is you're going to mountain, valley, mountain fold it. So you're going to mountain, if you've got it this direction. Then this one is a valley, and then these top are a mountain again. And then it will all kind of just come together itself to form the size card that fits in it in your typical average envelope for us. So use your bone folder to get those score marks burnished down, and that is your card. And all I did with this, you can pop it up, but I really didn't think it really needed it, so I just put a little adhesive. Actually, I use Fast Fuse. I mostly use Fast Fuse these days. It seems to stick a lot better and stay, and I don't have to worry about the card falling apart. So just kind of center that. There's barely a border of the blue. Oh, I did that wrong first. Hello. I knew I was missing something. I just added this little piece of Lemon Lime Twist to the bottom. Sorry about that. Today I'm just off my game with my videos. And again, it has just barely a border of the Bermuda Bay. And then this white piece will layer over it. So that's what I should have done first. And then because these are embossed, I do find they stick better, and it's easier to work with when I use our Tombow liquid glue to add those. So I'll just put a little glue on each of the sides and add these hexagon embossed pieces to those little areas, those long rectangles. Of course, I'll wait for that to dry in normal circumstances, but otherwise our card is done, and you can add a sentiment to the inside, whatever you have in your Stampin' catalog of stamps, and there is your fun Textulator Center Step Fold card. If you do need to order any of the supplies for this particular project, you can go onto my website, which is sabellastyles.stampinup.net, and you can click Shop Now and find all the things you need. There will be a list of those items on the end of this video. Thanks for watching.